Welcome back, everyone. I am Lavon Blue, and I want to know, what are you watching? Hey guys, as you can see from the title of this video, there are a few things that we need to discuss before tonight's episode, Season 8, Episode 5 of Game of Thrones. So first things first, there are some things that I need to sound off on and get it out of the way, get it off of my chest because it needs to be said. So let me take a sip and let's get started. That was more than a sip. Okay. So, there are some people that need to die. Just flat. We've lost so many people that we love on this episode. It's on this show. We have lost so many people that we love on this show that it's ridiculous, right? So it's time to see some of the people that we want to die. We need to see them die tonight, okay? So I made a list. All right. First on the list. And I'm not going to say this list is in any particular order, but I'm going to say it's in... Maybe it is actually. It's in my order of what I need to see happen. So Euron Greyjoy. Dead. I need to see him dead. Dead. Okay? He's not on the winning team. He's a creep. And he has no purpose for us, because even if he decided to be on Daenerys' team or Jon's team, since it might look like it's not the same team that they're on, he's disgusting. And he serves no purpose on this show. Okay, so next on the list, Bronn. I mentioned this in my last video. I don't really care about him. He can't be trusted. No loyalty. I guess you can put that under the same umbrella. I guess for me, he was a cool character before. Cool, funny. Still funny in some ways. But the episode where Tyrion was about to die, I think he instead of, how he escapes death, he's always, slick like that. So he had said something like he was going to do trial by combat. And that's how he was going to get out of the death sentence that his father and sister pretty much put him up to. He showed his true colors in that episode. Bronn showed his true colors in that episode. And that from then is when I feel like at least most of the audience started to dislike him. And that's when, I guess Tyrion felt like, oh, he's going to save my life again, like he did when we were at the Vale back in, I think it was season 1. But we saw quickly that wasn't going to work out. And I think that's when a lot of people turned and was like, okay, so yeah, he's a piece of shit. Okay, so next on the list... Okay, I'm going to say Qyburn. That's like the new hand to Cersei. For me, he just has no, he just disgusts me. All right, let me stop. Okay, he serves no purpose, and he's not on the winning team, so he has no purpose there. And even if he switched teams, see, this is the thing. You can be on the opposite side, and there's a chance, because you're kind of being led down the wrong path, you choose the wrong side. But then there's just those ones that are just disgusting, and he has done way too much. He is key for one of the dragons being taken out, Rhaegal, last week. We don't really there's no coming back from that. So he's got to go. That's it. The Mountain. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory for anyone that watches this show, why he has to go. And I'm just going to put this out there. I'm curious to know if the person that's going to take him out is his brother. Is his brother's name Sandor? Well, the Hound, his brother. I'm curious to know, because we last saw him and Arya, galloping on over to King's Landing. So I'm curious to know if it's going to be his brother that takes him out. And a twist, I guess, Game of Thrones twist would be that the both of them die. But I know that's a battle that we're going to see. Okay, last on the list. I know this is wishful thinking, but it would be really relieving to see Cersei die tonight. The only reason why I don't feel like it will happen, because I mean, I guess good writers won't kill off the big bad guy the episode before the last. But if it is in Game of Thrones fashion, tonight's episode is going to be super epic, and it's going to be crazy because, as we know, the episode before the finale is always like game changer. That's where we saw Ned Stark die. We saw the Red Wedding. Many of Daenerys's major moments happened in the episode before the finale. So I am very curious to see what's going to happen tonight with these 5 characters. Again, I don't see Cersei dying tonight. And you know what? There's one thing. Let me take a sip, because there's one thing I need to sound off on with Cersei. So, okay. To the writers, when you kill Cersei, because you wouldn't be that cruel not to take her out before this series ends. So when you kill Cersei, word to the wise, I will say we do not want a half-ass death, okay? So that little poison death that you did with Joffrey, that's not going to work this time. We need something bigger. I want this to be the most epic shit you've ever seen in television history. The most epic death, because that is what she deserves. So yeah, no poison, no hanging. No, this needs to be painful, and it does not need to be quick. And I want to hear a little bit of begging. It's crazy that Game of Thrones has actually has turned me evil, but I need to see her go. She needs to be gone, and I need to feel it. Because with Joffrey, like, I didn't feel it. I still don't feel like I got good revenge for Ned Stark's death. Like, and a bunch of other disgusting things that we saw happen by Joffrey, under Joffrey's rule. So Cersei, we need to see her go. And as far as how she goes, again, it needs to be epic, okay? I've heard in the books they mentioned something about dragon fire. I don't see Daenerys risking her one last dragon to burn down anything, but if you do burn it down, burn it all down. Okay, so for a moment, I want to talk about where we left off on last episode. Again, I did mention in my last video that I feel like the preview for tonight's episode was trash. It didn't have any words. It contained visuals pretty much of the same things. Didn't give me any hope. I'm going to say it didn't give us any hope for what's to come tonight. So that's the reason for these predictions. And first thing I did mention earlier, Arya leaving with the Hound. I'm curious, I feel like it would be too too predictable. If she's the one that kills Cersei, even though it was prophesized that she would kill, brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, it might be predictable and maybe not good writing. But then again, they do really find a way of making things come full circle in this show. So there's a chance that there's a way that they could do it to still make it good. But I feel like now that, maybe if they left the part out about green eyes, then it wouldn't, stir up all this talk, and that's what we're expecting. So because it's what we're expecting, I don't feel like that's what's going to happen. But she is going there, and I believe she's going to play a vital role in killing someone there. And we know that, as I mentioned before, I see the Mountain dying tonight, and I feel like, he's on her list. So who knows, she might play a vital role in taking him out too. Okay, so last week's episode, it was a waste. A waste of an hour and a half or hour and 20 something minutes. I feel like this whole series was stretched out, for so many years. And then to end it in 2 episodes, I feel like there's still so much that needs to be talked about or to be addressed. And I don't even know. I'm curious to know what they're going to do tonight. That's all I'm going to say. So yes, being the episode before the finale, I'm hopeful, but then again, I'm not hopeful. I think you guys can relate. Okay, so there's a few things that I'm hoping, because we have 2 episodes left, that we can touch on. Well, that we'll get to see, I should say. Is I feel like they only just glazed over Valeria. Like in the episode where you saw Jorah when he got touched by the stone men. Like you see them passing through it, you hear them talking about it. The Valeria is such a vital role, plays such a vital role in this show, that it's like to end it and not give us something from there, it almost feels like a letdown. I would love to see them tie in Valeria somehow in these last 2 episodes. I'm not sure how or whatever, however they would do this, but I feel like it would tie in everything and make everything come full circle. And then the next thing that I would love to see them touch on, because I said in my last video, I do not feel like we've heard the last of or seen the last of the Lord of Light. I feel like something is going to pop up in these last 2 episodes in regards to him/her, because, well, lords are usually males in this series. So yes, the Lord of Light. I'm very curious to know. I feel like something is gonna pop out, like the Joker in a Joker's box, with this character or this celestial being. So the last thing that I want to talk about is who I think is going to make an appearance in these last 2 episodes. I mean, it could happen tonight, it maybe happen in the finale, but Daario. We last saw him in Slaver's Bay when Daenerys pretty much ordered him to stay and keep everything in order while she's gone off on this mission to go over to, what is it? I never remember what the name is. Please put it down in the comments. It's where Stannis Baratheon lived, as well as it's where she was born, but it's where the dragon glass is. That's the last time we really saw Dario, I think it's Dario Naharis is, I believe, how you pronounce his last name. I'm interested to see Dario come back because, he's someone that has been on this journey with her. May not been from season 1, but he is someone that she still feels that she can trust. And, it might be interesting. I know it's the last 2 episodes, but maybe we could stick a little love triangle in there. So there's one last thing that I want to talk about before we close this video out. And that is, what do you guys think is going to happen between Daenerys and Jon? I mean, he trusted his siblings to keep his secret, even though a lot of us didn't believe that Sansa was going to keep her mouth closed, or mouth shut, I should say. So I'm interested to know what is going to happen between these two. And like, it's almost like now they're pitted against each other. But I have hope in Sansa. I don't know why. I feel like there's a bigger reason and there's a bigger plot behind what she does. I mean, again, she was raised by some pretty conniving people, but I feel like because there's still good in her and she's learned a lot and experienced a lot, that everything's going to come full circle with her character. But I mean, I was let down by her telling Tyrion. She barely held the secret for 2 seconds after she found out. I mean, I guess I'm disappointed, but it is what it is. It happened already. I'm very hopeful that tonight will not be a letdown. I mean, I'm hoping not to see any of the people that we love go tonight. I want to see some of those people that I mentioned earlier die. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any other videos that you'd like me to do and what you think is going to happen in tonight's episode. Once again, my name is Lavon Blue, and this is The Blue Review. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
that